Yep, things happen pretty quickly behind the scenes.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hey gang, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea news. Chelsea have signed a midfielder. Well, they've reached an agreement and the medical is about to be done. The deal is essentially done unless he fails the medical, which is a rare occurrence in modern football, ladies and gentlemen. And no, it's not Moises Caicedo, and it doesn't look like a starter for Chelsea. It does seem like a player that would go on loan, but rather interestingly go on loan to Strasbourg. And today I want to talk about Strasbourg as well as this player that looks like we've signed as well, because it looks like Chelsea could win Ligue 1. Chelsea could win the French league. Also, like, what if, right? Okay, so we all want to qualify for the Champions League next season, yeah? We do, of course. We probably have a chance of doing it. I don't want to say a massively good chance, because when you're in 12th place, if you get top 6, you have to say that is progress. So, of course, even that's not guaranteed in this current climate of Premier League competition. But, so say we qualify for the Champions League. I think Strasbourg finished, 12th or something, like Chelsea, something like in the bottom half of the Ligue 1 table. But they've since bought, we'll speak about it in a minute, and what the fans think of Chelsea owning them. But they could definitely qualify for the Champions League. So the following season, the season after this season, in fact, because we are in the new season, the following season, Chelsea could face Strasbourg in the Champions League. Chelsea Club versus Chelsea Club, conflict of interest. Fortunately, we're like UEFA and we're paying them money, contributions. If you're yet to watch my previous upload, do go back and watch that. We speak about the fine or the contribution or whatever it frickin' is to UEFA from Chelsea. Anyway, we'll speak about Strasbourg in a little bit more detail in a moment, but let's talk about this player we've signed. So, Adam Levital of The Athletic has written this. Chelsea have agreed a deal to sign Rennes midfielder Lesley Ugochukwu. I think it's pronounced Ugochukwu. The deal is for a permanent signing. Chelsea have reached an agreement. Bearing in mind we have a relationship with Rennes. We, of course, signed Edouard Mendy from Rennes. And, Petr Cech, etc., etc. So an agreement worth 27.5 million euros. So that's 23.5 million quid. This is a significant amount of money, especially for a bottom half of the table, Ligue 1 team. And, French League's very good. I think it's very good that we bought a team there. More on that in a moment. But ultimately, this is big money considering for a teenager. He's a 19-year-old. He's a combative midfielder. A medical is scheduled within the coming hours. Ugochukwu is also agreed personal terms with Chelsea and will sign a long-term contract with the West London club. # Project 2030, another youthful talent to join the army of talent of tomorrow. Of course, in my previous upload today, again, I'd urge you to go watch it. We speak about fellow 19-year-old and Ryan Cherky, how Chelsea have pulled out of the race to sign him, and they explain why. Well, has been explained why. Bad attitude, apparently, but more detail in this morning's upload. Go and watch that if you're yet to watch it. So this is interesting. This is really interesting. Okay. It is undecided at this stage whether Ugochukwu will go straight into the first team or go on loan. So he made 35 appearances for Rennes last season, which is seriously significant for a teenager in the first team. Chelsea have already signed France international Nkunku, Jackson from Villarreal, the Brazilian winger Angelo Gabriel this summer, where we've had a number of outgoings. Of course, we've lost Mason Mount, we've lost Havertz, Koulibaly, Kante, and Edouard Mendy have all gone to Saudi Arabia. Lots and lots of players going. So you'd have to say this has got to be a loan, right? This isn't, we haven't signed this kid to be Enzo's long-term partner, surely. I mean, it's a significant fee. It's not like an 8 million, a South American kid for 12 million quid who we're going to loan definitely to Strasbourg. Right? You know, how whatever Angelo Gabriel cost straight to Strasbourg. You know, it's a bit more, like 24 million quid. Like, it's significant, right? Especially for a teenager. I'm looking at his metrics now. His top metrics on his scouting reports are his percentage of dribblers tackled. So he likes stopping dribblers. His pass completion is good, both medium and long. He rarely loses a challenge. He is good at blocking shots. He's in the top 5 percentile for that. He's in the 95th percentile. Similarly, passes blocked. He's very good at. He never passes offside. He wins a lot of aerial duels, over 63%. So around 2 of his 3 aerial duels he wins. He's quite tall, I believe. He is 6'2", so yeah, he's quite tall for a midfielder, definitely. You know, it's like centre back height, really, isn't it? But playing in midfield, and yet, you know, he's interceptions, tackles, and interceptions. This kind of stuff, he's good. He rarely miscontrols the ball as well. So we're looking at a central defensive midfielder here. The profile that we need, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to confirm one right now as well on Transfermarkt. He's a defensive midfielder. He's a right-footed defensive midfielder, but he can play in central midfield. But 4-2-3-1, so he can play in a lone pivot or a 4-2-3-1 partner. He could be the partner for Enzo Fernandez. Right. Now, let's speculate, ladies and gentlemen, because that's a lot of fun, and it makes for good content. Right, could this be a backup option should Chelsea walk away from Moises Caicedo? Not only could it be a backup, a legitimate backup, but could it also prove as a negotiating element to Brighton? Like, you know what, mate? You know what, Brighton? We've got someone. Sure, we'll buy Moises Caicedo for the 80 million we've offered. And it's up to Moises now to convince Brighton to sell him to Chelsea, which of course reports that I haven't reacted to directly, but reports have suggested that Moises Caicedo and his camp respectfully want to speak to Brighton about them lowering their price. Respectfully, the guy in friggin' January was posting on social media like, I'm gonna go, I'm leaving Brighton for a record fee, and he ended up going nowhere. He's a kid, do you know what I mean? But so maybe like a culmination of things of him going to his employers, Brighton, and being like, come on guys, this is ridiculous, this is an obscene amount of money you're turning down, you told me I can go, Ruddy let me go, oh, when I let me go, let him go, and a Bohemian Rhapsody thing. So maybe a bit of that, and also Brighton like, okay, they have just literally signed a CDM of the profile they need. He's not like an academy. He looks like, you know, they spent significant money on him. They've bought the profile they need and spent significant cash on him. He's young, but he's not, you know, a fetus. He's probably pushing 20, and he could play in the Chelsea first team. All right, time to stop. You know, maybe they're not bluffing. Maybe we can't squeeze more money out of them. Maybe we accept Chelsea's offer of 80 million for Moises Caicedo and get the transfer done, and everyone is happy. And then Chelsea go, thank you very much. We've got an excellent player here, though, in Ugochukwu. Hope that's pronounced right. We've got an excellent player in him. He'll get on loan to Strasbourg, and we have an asset developing and aging, and, you know, like a fine wine. That's in theory how things could go. So, you know, that is why potentially this could be a really, really intelligent signing. Yeah, could be brilliant. It could be brilliant. Of course, it's speculating, but I'd be really interested in knowing what you think there. Should he go on loan to Strasbourg and doesn't go in into the Chelsea first team midfield? Strasbourg have got an excellent team. We've broken their transfer record twice. Well, no, we've broken their transfer record once, and we're sending them players worth over their transfer record. If they get Angelo Gabriel and you know, this lad, this central midfielder, and they've got, I think, a centre back we broke their transfer record for. We've got a new coach in Patrick Vieira, who, you know, as a Frenchman, think he'd be able to assert his ideals a bit better. Maybe he's fluent in English. What am I talking about? But he, you know, PSG are an absolute crap show. They look terrible. Messi's gone, Mbappe's going. They're imbalanced. You know, who's even managing? Was Galtier gone? Is he still there? I don't even know what's going on with PSG. It's an absolute circus. By no means are they, like, you know, obvious. They can let people in to win Ligue 1, essentially. I'm not saying Strasbourg are going to win Ligue 1, but it would make a great headline, Chelsea win the French league. Why not? PSG there for the taking. We're juicing Strasbourg up in an exciting fashion. Apparently you can only loan 3 players to a European club like that. So we could loan 3 players to Strasbourg. One would be Angelo Gabriel. One would be Lesley Ugochukwu. And then maybe one more. And then, of course, we buy players that eventually we want to come to Chelsea, but under the banner of Strasbourg. And eventually they whale their way to Chelsea Football Club for a really reasonable fee. I mean, it's cynical, but this is football, man. This is football. And I do want to talk about the Strasbourg fans for a second. There was protesting against, again, Todd Boehly, because he's an easy target. He's the face of Chelsea, despite being a minority owner. I think that was by design and remains the case. But Blueco, for example, the Strasbourg fans were protesting against the essentially Chelsea ownership of their club. I get it, a big, your local club that's good, that's, in the top division, and then one that gets bought out by a Man City or a Man United or an Arsenal, you'd be like, what the heck is this? But suddenly they've probably got a bit quiet, look at Patrick Vieira's come to manage us, that's quite exciting. You've broken our transfer record on a centre back. Gee, all these Brazilian wonder kids coming on loan. Now one of the better young midfielders in France coming on loan. Actually, it's time to sort of chill out a little bit and just see what these owners are all about. Do you know what I mean? So come on, even if you don't watch Strasbourg next season, and many of you won't, unless you're football nerds or whatever, I probably won't. I might watch the odd game just to have interest, but you'll check the table. You'll be like, ooh, how's Chelsea's B team doing? How are we developing in the French league? You'll check the table, and it will be exciting, and I'm pretty sure before long the Strasbourg fans will be completely on board with their new ownership model. Let me know what you think, guys. Chelsea could be ingenious with this move, really, if you think about outside the box. Have they been really clever in terms of offering extra leverage in the Caicedo deal? Is this kid that's that good so he can play next to Enzo? Maybe he's not just a backup. Maybe they're like, yeah, he's good, and we can get him for 24 million. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. I'm really excited to read your comments on this for hopefully people. I've got well-versed football fan viewers, so hopefully you can tell me about what he's like as a player, and I look forward to reading those comments. And we'll follow these stories and developments as they go here on the channel. So if you do choose to subscribe, make sure you hit the bell, and I look forward to seeing you back here very, very soon. Peace.